So these are the 3 principles that I'm being very intentional about in 2024 to ensure that I'm accomplishing my personal goals and successfully building my brand. Hey writers, Happy New Year! It's 2024, y'all. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Denise Renee. I am a writer, editor, and content strategist. I help people to write books and create content that helps them grow their brand. So if that sounds like something you want to do, you are in the right place. Make sure you tap that subscribe button. So whenever a new year rolls around, it's so common for me to hear people say things like, man, I'm just ready for that old year to go. I'm ready for this new year. I'm ready for the new things. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for that. This new year is going to bring me this. This new year is going to bring me that. And to me, it just sounds like people are just kind of deferring the responsibility for good things and happiness and success to some way out there mystical force that is called the new year to bring to you the things that you want. And for me, at my new big age, honey, I just had a birthday last week on December 25th. And she ain't 50, she's fine tea. So yes, honey, that's a new number for you. Fine tea. We ain't 50, we fine tea. But at my new big age, I literally am like, yeah, no, I'm not deferring responsibility for anything in my life to anyone else anymore. I've done that for the past 50 years, and now moving forward, we're doing something else. So that brings me to my first principle that I want to share, and that is I own my change. The new year is not going to bring me the changes that I want to see. God, and I love God, I love Jesus Christ and them, but God is not 100% responsible for everything in my life. I am. I partner with God to help me make decisions and make things happen. I am responsible for what happens in my life. I am responsible for the actions that I take. And I'm responsible for the inputs that I receive that influence me. So one of the things I have done for years, and I'm really doubling down on right now, is severely limiting the news. I used to watch the news all the time. I used to be in my car a lot when I used to have a job like halfway across the metro Atlanta area. So I spent a lot of time in the car and I would have the news on repeat. Yeah, those days are over. Now when I'm in the car, using my car to make money for me, I'm listening to uplifting podcasts. I'm listening to uplifting music. I'm also kind of listening to some ratchet gossip vlogs on YouTube too. But I'm also listening to business books. I'm listening to other things and putting in things in me that are going to help uplift me, where I can learn something, where I can get better at what it is that I do, better at how it is I help and serve people. So while, yes, I have been watching inflation hit my pockets like, there's a limit to how much I'm really listening to that information and letting it really sink in. All of the stuff about the job market. Yes, the job market has been tough. Yes, I was looking for a job throughout 2023. And yes, I did start a brand new job in November. So it's not like places are not hiring. It's not in my industry. It's in an industry that's completely new to me. It's not giving me all of the money that I would like to give, but hey, it's something. It's definitely giving me health insurance because, baby, being without health insurance is not business. And it's forcing me to be really creative with the rest of my time as I'm growing this new brand and basically a reboot of my business from the ground up. It's just one of those streams of income for me. And then I'm also not listening to the news when it comes to, which industries are declining or which industries, all the doom and gloom. I understand it's going on and it is a reality, but I don't have to let that be my reality. Because here's the thing, 90 something years ago, in 1929, the great stock market crashed, signaling the beginning of the Great Depression. It was like a decade of just like doom and gloom. People deleted themselves off this planet because they believed all the negativity around them. And yet what happened in that period? While things were tough, some people saw opportunity and some people started companies and businesses and they became millionaires in the middle of the Great Depression. Why can't I take inspiration from that story? Why can't I become a millionaire in the midst of another Great Recession? It could be me. It's going to be somebody. Money is just transferring around here. Why can't some of that transfer to me? My hands are open. Hey. So I'm quite and well aware of what's going on, but I'm not really taking that in. I know that I am in charge of my own actions, and I'm going to take the actions that I need to take in order to be a better person, in order to grow my brand, and in order to accomplish all of the personal goals that I have for myself. Now, if you're interested, I go way more in depth into what some of my personal goals are on my personal blogging channel. So I'll put a link to the video below if you want to go ahead and check that out. So the second principle that I'm adhering to in 2024, so that I'm intentional about my own personal growth and the growth of my brand, is I am committing time every single day to do what is essential for me personally and what's essential for my brand. And for me, that essential thing is making time for creativity. I love to create, and I realized in 2023 that when I made my day all about hustle, make money, pay the bills, I was miserable. And I put myself into a little bit of a mental health crisis. I'm so grateful for the community of support that I had that helped me out of that dark time period, because it was like for most of the year, child. And then things kind of came to a head right at the end of July. And then my mom was like, yeah, girl, no, you coming home and you're taking a time of rest and reset. And it was, I don't want to talk about it because I'm gonna start crying. I'm not gonna do that. But coming out on the other side of that, I realized, I'm like, you know what? My schedule is still pretty packed. I'm now working a full-time job, 8 hours. And after that, I put in another 5 or 6 hours driving rideshare, because 8-hour job just unfortunately doesn't cover all of my bills. So I make up the difference. So that leaves me about 10 hours in my day to get some sleep, have some fun on a personal level, and be creative and work on building my business so that I don't have to have the job and the rideshare, and that my business can take care of everything else. I do understand and recognize that anything that's worth building takes time. And going back to point number 1, I take responsibility for the actions that I have taken where I have completely paused marketing my business and where I have completely shifted. I think in the course of about 6 years, I've made about 3 major shifts in my branding. This is the last one. I'm really solid on my branding now. So it's like, even though I have all this experience, it's like I'm starting from scratch again. And that's okay, because this is the brand that I want to build, Writing with Denise Renee, making sure that people understand I have skills as a copywriter, I have skills as a digital marketer, and I have skills as a business book ghostwriter and editor. And people can bring all of these elements together to help them build a solid brand for themselves so that you can walk away from that job, so that you can walk away from the gig economy work and create the future of your dreams. And you can learn from me because I'm doing it. I'm in the process of doing it myself. So something that is so essential to me is creating, making time to create. I love to write. I love making content. Like, I really love it. I love sitting down and doing videos. Now, I don't like editing videos, but I love creating videos. I'm about to start a podcast. I maintain a blog. I like doing all of the content things because I love it. I don't necessarily recommend that everybody do exactly all of the things that I'm doing because I'm just unique and I love this stuff. And I realized that not everybody loves making content for the sake of making content. And not everybody loves making content for the sake of building their personal brand. So I usually recommend people, you know what, focus on one type of content, focus on one channel, get that under your belt, get money flowing into your new business or your new brand so that you can reinvest into hiring and expanding your team so that you can do more and they can do some of the things that you don't necessarily want to do. But getting back to this principle for me, when I identified that being creative is so important to me. So as long as I'm doing things that I love, another thing that I love to create is music. My keyboards had been in storage for a number of years and now I finally have access to them. So now I have to like rebuild my studio and get new equipment and wires and stuff like that because they were in storage for so long that, you know, a lot of things are not working the way they used to. So as long as I am doing something creative, it's helping me personally and it's also helping me grow my brand. Something else that's important for me growing my brand is networking. Now, because I have such a crazy schedule right now, it's hard for me to go out to a lot of in-person events, but I will be able to start sneaking some in when my schedule changes in a little bit. But also just doing more online networking, getting into people's DMs, leaving comments, and really participating in social media like a human being. I naturally meet people and I naturally start to form partnerships and collaborations, which is something else that is so important for me growing my brand in 2024. It could be as simple as doing a joint video with someone, which I was able to do with Carol Dunlop a few videos back. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead and check it out. Or it could be being a podcast guest, something that has been starting to pick up a little bit more for me. Or it could be doing a collaborative video with another creator, which I'm scheduled to do one with a friend of mine really soon. So these different elements I've been able to identify as being very critical for me, for where I am right now. And it's just my intention to make sure I'm making time for it every day. Definitely the creativity every day, and networking and collaborating, at least making sure I'm making new connections on a weekly basis, or I'm participating in something collaborative at least once a month. A lot of times people feel like, oh man, my schedules are so busy, it's so packed, work takes up too much, or this and that. And it's so easy to say, well, I don't have enough time to do all of these things. For me, I've realized that I have spent time not doing these things and putting a priority on working, and realizing that I'm not advancing my brand. So I recognize that while right now my schedule is just really crazy and it's really demanding and it's really requiring a lot of myself, it's really requiring a lot of intentionality. It really requires me to really schedule and stick to the schedule that I set for myself. I know that things will not always be this way. I know that what I'm doing, I'm investing in my future. I'm investing in the future of my brand. And I'm investing in my personal future. So being so intentional about making these things happen on a daily and weekly basis is what's going to be that change that I experience in 2024 and beyond. It's not because 2024 came with some magical pixie dust and sprinkled it all over me. No, it's because I was intentional. And now here's the third principle that for me, I'm focusing on because I have, just witnessed so much in 2023 alone. That is prayer. Now, I know everyone has a different belief system, and some people don't have a belief system at all. My point of sharing this is to share what my process is and to hopefully inspire you to think about what are 3 things that you should be focusing on. For me, like I said, and I'm not necessarily looking for you to duplicate my process because my journey is mine and your journey is yours. That being said, I'm gonna tell you, for me, prayer is it. And part of prayer for me is being grateful, expressing gratitude. Some people do a gratitude journal and write down the things that they're grateful for every day. That's part of prayer. So I make sure if I'm not, doing this whole, can you not tarry 1 hour session, I'm at least taking 5 minutes, slowing down and telling God, thank you, and what I am thankful for. Because the more that you express gratitude for something, the more of it you tend to experience in your life. The more it just kind of expands. It's very easy to focus on what's going wrong. It's very easy to focus on the negativity. Hello, the news. So my thing is like, okay, the negativity is there, but I'm going to amplify the positivity. And that just works for me. Keeping a positive attitude. Like I said, in the midst of the 1930s Great Depression, millionaires were born. So my thing for this year is to be really intentional about thinking about how many opportunities are presenting themselves to me instead of what's being taken away. Things are coming to me. Opportunities. And opportunities, I think there's this quote that says something to the effect that most people miss opportunities because it's dressed in overalls and looks like work. I'm not afraid to work. Okay, you heard me run down my crazy schedule. I'm not afraid to work for what it is that I want. So opportunities, again, are not these like out there things. You've got to work the opportunities that come to you. So you got to work it. You got to work with it. And then also what's so important for me in prayer is following what I call the leading of the Holy Spirit, and then also following my own instincts and not necessarily looking to copy everybody else and do what everybody else is doing or say what everybody else is saying. I mean, for example, me talking about prayer or talking about my faith is not something that people would recommend you do in a business setting, but I'm doing what I'm being led to do. And I'm finding that more and more people are kind of like over the influencer, the guru. They're over it. And they want to see real people. They want to see people that they can relate to. And I'll tell you, I'm the kind of person where people of all kinds of faith and no faith tend to gravitate to me just because I'm real and I'm authentic and I'm not like trying to push or shove anything on someone. I'm really just here to help people. I will help anybody that I think I have the ability to help. I'm not here to judge anybody's situation. Look, I'm too busy judging myself. I ain't got time to judge nobody else, okay? So while being able to follow best practices and best principles for marketing and branding yourself, those things are well and good, but because everybody's on social media, everybody's on YouTube, everybody's got a website, it's very noisy. How do you stand out? What's your differentiator? And so one of my prayers for this year is just, God, just lead me and guide me to do the things that I should do to help me stand out, to help me look like me and not like everybody else. And those people who I'm meant to help, they will be attracted to me. And those people that I'm not meant to help, they would have already clicked off this video. And I'm okay with that. It's totally fine. I don't need a bazillion people to help. I just need a certain amount of people at a certain level to make my business reach the level of success that I'm looking for it to reach. And I think the same is probably true for you too. You probably don't need a bazillion people. You probably need a set amount of people on a regular basis, on a rotating basis, that's purchasing your products or purchasing your services or purchasing your consulting on a consistent basis that will make you profitable. So I hope that this video has really inspired you to think about what are three things, what are three principles that you need to focus on in this year to ensure that you will be successful in accomplishing your personal goals and in growing your brand. If you know what those three things are and you want to share them with me down in the comments, feel free to do so. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Get busy in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if one of the goals that you have for 2024 is to write a book that helps you to grow your brand, but you're not sure how exactly to get started, I want to invite you to visit writingwithdeniserenee.com/4 steps and download a free guide that's going to help you get that process started. You can also find the link down in the description. Now, with that share being over, I want to tell you about some exciting things that I have planned for this channel. One of my prayers that I prayed last year has been answered. And I now have a video editor. So I'm going to be working with my video editor over the next few weeks and getting them up to speed. And probably by like the end of the month, beginning of February, you'll start to see me roll out content on a very consistent basis. I mean, very consistent basis. Now, I don't want to make any announcements and then it doesn't quite happen that way, but I'm going to just say it's going to be on a very consistent basis. Another thing you can begin to look forward to is some new content types on this channel. I'm going to start my own personal writing vlog. I'm always on here talking and helping other people with their writing. I'm helping people that I coach. I'm helping people that I do editing for. But now your girl is finally more than ready to start putting out her own work. It's long overdue. Not only do I have 2 nonfiction books slated for release in 2024, but I also have a collection of short stories. People don't know that I write fiction. I have been a fiction writer since I was 8 or 9 years old. When I went to college, I did one of my degrees in English. My concentration was in creative writing. After I left college, I was taking courses. I went back to New York City. It's where I grew up. I would take courses at the Learning Annex on creative writing just to like keep that going for myself. And then, life did get, a little lifey and I stopped writing for a little while, but I started picking it back up recently because I'm just like, why did I stop doing this? Why? I mean, the skills have always been there, and I have been using my storytelling skills and my writing skills in other capacities, mainly in digital marketing and content creation. But just getting back to that pure fiction writing, yeah, your girl is back. But I'm like, y'all don't even know that I was here in the first place. So I'm going to start sharing more of my personal writing journey. I'll start to share about my process with preparing my books for publication, my own writing process, maybe reading some things to y'all, getting some feedback and all that kind of good stuff. And then finally, I'm going to be starting a podcast on this channel. Yeah, I told you I love creating content and I have lots of content ideas, not only for this channel, but for my personal blogging channel as well. Y'all gotta go check that out because it's kind of like this, but just like, this channel is all about writing, whether that's writing books, writing a blog, writing content, creating content, copywriting. That's all in Writing with Denise Renee. My It's Denise Renee channel on YouTube and in TikTok and Instagram, that's everything else. And there's so much that I have planned for that as well. So I really do want you to check the link below to see my New Year's video that I posted where I'm sharing like all the things that I'm doing over there. Yes, I am one person with a video editor. And I'm going to make it all happen. It may not all happen all at once. Sometimes I may have to take a little bit of a pause because, I am one person and I do have an insane schedule, but it just brings me so much joy to just create and share. Whether I have one person putting a like on a video or 100 people, I don't care. I love doing it. I'm putting it out there. And if you're someone who happens to be catching this maybe months or years after I have initially published it, I hope that you have walked into like a really great and supportive community. But anyway, those are my plans. I may not necessarily, right now at this moment, I'm not like ready to like ramp up and throw all of these things at you guys, but you will start to see them roll out definitely over the first quarter of 2024. One thing you can also look for my shorts here on YouTube. So I'll be posting a lot more short content as well. So child, I'm going to be doing all of the things. It's coming. And I'm excited. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know what questions you have down in the comments. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you love it, or give it a thumbs down if you don't, and tell me what you don't like about it because it's engagement and I'm still going to respond to you. Just keep it respectful. That's all I ask. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And I hope that you have an amazing New Year's Day.